In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the current conditions. We're going to be going over that upcoming pattern where things are actually looking a little bit warmer than originally expected. There's also multiple major storms to go over as well. So let's just get straight into things now. And first things first, we're just taking a look at those current conditions. We can see there is quite a bit of storminess in quite a few different spots here. So first off, we can see that the Northwest is dealing with some sort of shower activity up there. There's some snowfall up here for Montana and a bit of North Dakota. The Southern Rockies also have some of these snowfall showers going on, and then we can see this long line of heavier showers and thunderstorms stretching all the way from Mexico to Canada. We were talking about that a little while ago over the last few days, how that is going to stretch such a long portion all the way across the United States there, and sure enough, that is what is taking place there. Let's go ahead and zoom in here to the northwestern United States, and as you can see, we have quite a bit of rainfall taking place. It's heading from south to north here across the region, but there is quite a bit of this light to moderate rainfall ongoing for mostly Washington, but a little bit of northern Oregon as well. As we just slide a little bit further eastward, we could see these snowfall showers entering in to Montana and North Dakota. We also see some of these heading into North Dakota and Minnesota over here as well. But definitely this one is more prominent over here where there is actually moderate to heavy snowfall coming down. That's indicated by the bright whites and those blues popping up. That is extremely heavy snowfall heading into Poplar, Glendive as well. We're going to be heading into that region near I-94 down here. So be on the lookout for that. Plentywood is getting a bit of this as things kind of shift further and further eastward. So that area up there in northeastern Montana is going to be dealing with those snow showers for a little while. Now for Colorado and New Mexico especially here, we also have some snowfall and rainfall in the lower elevation regions taking place in here. A lot of moderate to heavy snowfall again down here, especially near Trinidad and these other regions along I-25. This is an area where we're seeing those bright whites very widespread and also those blues popping up, which again is very, very heavy snowfall taking place in there. Now, let's just take a look down here at Texas where we've had some heavier thunderstorms happening in here. So this general corridor along this cold front that is meandering its way along the United States. These storms have been the worst here on the southern end. These have been isolated in nature. So we can see down here that these are individual little cells, and they're really not a part of a larger group, at least not connected with precipitation to another group. This is all associated with that cold front, but this is not connected with precipitation, as you can see. They're isolated. Up here, there's also really bad thunderstorms taking place for Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee, or Texas, better yet, and Oklahoma. But this is a linear area of storms, especially to further north into Arkansas and Louisiana. You go up there, this is probably causing some straight line wind to take place, so be on the lookout for that as well. A totally different storm type than what is over Texas right now. And we can see these isolated storms heading up north like this, out ahead of this, is very normal ahead of a cold front, and that is featuring very, very warm air because all this wind is heading straight in from the Gulf of Mexico just like that, and it is featuring very humid and very, very warm air. Once you get behind this cold front, though, once this cold front moves through, that is very dry, cold air behind there. So it's a huge, huge switch once you get past that cold front. Now, we do have this pocket of showers and thunderstorms going on here. Also, on the northern end of this line for Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, and even Michigan up there, as well as Pennsylvania and New York, seeing some of these easternmost pockets of showers. So definitely a very impactful, for many different states, that line is really, really crazy stuff. We also have this pocket of showers that's moved through Vermont, New Hampshire, there, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and even Long Island as well. Very interesting little line that develops in there. Even heavier pockets of showers and thunderstorms taking place on that as well. And then usually there's something going on in southern Florida. It looks like they're kind of dodging these right now, but you know, it can happen any day. So there could be showers and thunderstorms happening later there. Cannot be ruled out literally any day, really. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to move on and we're going to talk about the upcoming pattern and really just everything that is coming up with that pattern, like big storms, potentially warmer air than originally anticipated, like I mentioned, and also more severe weather. Now here we are taking a look at the upcoming pattern. I'm just going to move this on to where we're basically at right now, which is about here. We can see some of those snowfall showers up here, the area of snowfall here in Colorado, the storminess up there in the northwest, and then a line of showers and thunderstorms there. So as things progress towards this afternoon, we could see this line moves a little bit further east and probably intensifies to bring stronger storms and showers along this as the daytime heat today. It's going to be very warm east of this cold front, so as it approaches, it's probably going to have a lot of energy available to build up those thunderstorms. So that's what's going to be ongoing. And as time moves on even further, we see this reaches the East Coast by tomorrow at about 8 p.m. That's going to be Tuesday, April 26th at about 8 p.m. It'll be reaching New England, the Mid-Atlantic coast, the Southeast, all of those regions. Now, we can tell the jet stream is doing something along these lines here. So this is what is ongoing. Mostly this cold air centered over this region. We have warm air shoving its way up here. And we do have storminess really working its way into the northwest, as you can see, a lot of snowfall and a lot of rainfall. Things do quiet up, and generally the jet stream is about like this. We do have a low right here that brings some showery activity. That's both snowfall and rainfall to the northeast. And we do see some activity building in here for just east of the Rockies. Now, we see this really surge by about Thursday morning time frame, even Thursday afternoon. We see this really building in here. Jet stream is still working its way around that area like this. Very cold air for the northeast especially, but really the entire eastern United States is still dealing with below normal temperatures by Thursday. And then by the time we reach Friday afternoon, we see a low 999 millibar low pressure center developing there. And this does have a lot of activity, especially to its north, taking place. Snowfall and rainfall, especially up there. And then by the time we reach Saturday afternoon, we see the 995. Look at how much rainfall and the lack of snowfall with this storm. This is a sign of how far into the spring and approaching the summer we are getting. When we see basically no snowfall associated with these storms. Almost no snowfall. Probably going to be severe weather associated with it, though, especially underneath. And really, I mean, even to the north of it, there is no real warm front because everywhere is kind of warm. If there's a warm front, it's kind of up there. Yeah, very, very warm all the way up into there. So a little bit of a confusing storm, but not your classic storm. There we go. It looks a little bit more, identifiable here. 995, we see this almost spiraling around it. Very, very intense storm here, bringing precipitation to a lot of regions within that circle. 995 millibar low pressure center, like I mentioned, still. And that does bring a lot of storminess in the long range to all of these regions. Watch how much storminess just is as a result of that storm and then the one after it. We go from looking like this, mostly quiet in that time period, to a lot of storminess and also a lot of warm air here in the eastern United States, almost a warm dome that takes place. And all these storms that you're seeing in here are isolated thunderstorms as a result of the very warm and humid air that works its way in. So we get a very interesting pattern. We get another storm that's trying to move through here with a cold front underneath. So we'll have to see what that brings as well with it. Now, what we're going to do here is take a look at the total snowfall. So let's take a look at the total snowfall through the model run. And I'm not really going to point out any areas. If you're in the gray areas, you're at a dusting. If anything, blues will be 2 to 6 inches of snowfall. Purples will be 6 to 10. Pinks are going to be 10 to 20. Your pastel blues will be 20 to 30. And then your kind of purplish pastels in there, we see some of that for the Rockies and the Cascades. That is where you're at 30 to 48 inches plus of snowfall. So a lot of snowfall expected for a lot of high elevation regions. And then not a lot of snowfall expected for pretty much every single low elevation area. So that is the look as of now. Now let's go ahead and move on from this and talk about the upcoming temperature pattern. Now here we are taking a look at that upcoming temperature pattern, and as you can see, to start things out, we have warmer air along the west coast and still in the eastern United States with cold in between. But over the next couple of days, here's tomorrow afternoon, Tuesday. It's going to be Tuesday, April 26th at about 2 p.m. We still have warm in the southeast, but really this cold air mass is really working its way in, trying to dive down there towards the southeast there. Let's keep going with this, and as you can see, it eventually reaches a breaking point where that cold air really works its way in. Warmth trying to build in out west, and it does actually successfully do so here in a couple of frames as it really works its way further northward here. But there is cold air really shoving its way in behind already, and this is going to be by about 2 a.m. on Saturday, April 30th, so about 5 days from now. And this cold air should be on the way out as that warm is forced further and further eastward. So look at this. By this point, we see a lot of warm air. This is about 2 p.m. on May 1st. It's going to be a Sunday. We see most of the cold air up here in the northwest. This warm air is trying to work its way northward there in the eastern half of the country. So that's what's ongoing by that point. Here's the high temperatures on Monday as well. And we still see this ongoing warmer temperatures moving their way in. Colder temperatures working their way into the west. So that is the look. And that kind of stays that way overall. Here's the high temperatures on Wednesday. We do get some colder air working its way into here, but still I would say the majority of the warmth here is located over the southeast and the south central United States. So it's probably still putting up a fight. And really, if you were to ask me what's going to happen, at the end of this model run after this point, I can't really say because it's such a, it's all stalled out. It's all stalled out. The warmth could work its way back in and beat out the cold. There is cold working its way onto the western seaboard here, as you can see. That could really establish itself in the west, which would force all this warm air to enter into the southeast. Or this cold air could really win out, and it could force its way down, and we could see this warm kind of redistribute itself back to the west. Both of those things wouldn't surprise me, so only time will be able to tell. So be sure to tune in with us daily as we just break down the pattern every single day. Let's go ahead and move on and talk about the storm prediction center, though, because there is a couple concerns. Now, here we are taking a look at the day one categorical outlook, and the good news is that we have, first off, 3 general thunderstorm risks, but only a marginal risk here, which is still something you're going to want to watch, especially for those warnings, watches, and advisories. But we've had a lot of worse severe weather than that over the last couple of weeks, so this is kind of a nice relief from that. In the general thunderstorm risk areas, which is the 3 lighter green areas, that's where we expect general thunderstorms. But in the darker green region, that is where we expect isolated severe weather to take place. It's called our marginal risk region, and you're going to want to be on the lookout for that isolated severe weather activity. Now, as we work our way towards day 2, we see there's 2 general thunderstorm risks, one there for coastal Washington, and then one here for the southeast and the Gulf states, and that is, again, where general thunderstorms are expected. The marginal risk area here for North Carolina and Virginia is where we expect isolated severe weather to be possible during the evening tomorrow, most likely, in between 4 and 8 p.m. is my best guess at the timing there. So be on the watch out for that. Also, day 3, we have 3 general thunderstorm risks there. One for Idaho and Wyoming, and then one there for the Central Plains, and then one there for Florida. Again, it's where general thunderstorms are expected. That's going to be for Wednesday, April 27th. Let me just break this back down. This is Monday today. This is Tuesday, April 26th, and then this is Wednesday, April 27th. And then we have one day in the extended range that we need to watch. This is going to be for Friday, April 29th. We do have this is for day 5, a 15% chance of severe weather for southern Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and northern Texas there, which translates to a slight risk at least here for this date on Friday, April 29th. So we're going to have to watch for that for sure. Anyway, for today's confidence tab, we're still at a 4 out of 6. I still feel like there's time for these things to really get closer, especially for most of our major events. We really haven't reached them yet. So that's where we're at a 4 out of 6. For today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, Bill Crates, James Wade, Dovin Nagel, Little Pan, Mandy Birchfield, Patrick Strickland, Dave Scott, and Donna Carnes as well. I would also like to thank our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Cuddle, Capite, Charles Stinnett, Bill Dallas, Gary's, and John Calisi also. I'd also like to thank our channel members, Capite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.